It has been extremely difficult for me to watch Loree buy herself motorcycles, buy a house with her mother, and to be able to take vacations to Disney while I have struggled financially too. I would too love to be able to afford a house where both my children can have their own space and a place to call home while they're with me.
Asked the court to take judicial notice of that suit for modification of child support order that was filed by the Office of the Attorney General on May 15, 2024.
I take judicial notice of your pleading.
And also the final decree of divorce, the prior order in this case, which was filed on August 2020, August 7, 2020, the prior order in this case.
I take judicial notice of the prior order, specifically that Mr. Deleon was ordered to provide insurance, and I believe child support was $1,065.75 each month beginning August 1st of 2020.
Mr. Deleon, now in the prior order, you were ordered to pay child support of $1,065.75 a month, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you were also ordered to carry the health and dental for the kids, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, now what has changed from the prior order to now?
Many factors have changed. I've unfortunately had to switch to many different jobs, still under the same policy, still in the same company umbrella as of Allstate. As explained earlier, there are separate Allstate offices that are independently owned. But
let me stop you there. Let me ask a more specific question. Are you providing health insurance for the kids?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Only dental.
I'm sorry, Can you say that again? The phone beeped in.
I'm not providing health insurance at the moment.
Did you say you are providing dental?
Dental, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So that's one change from the prior order. You're not providing medical insurance for the kids.
I am not.
Okay, and why aren't you providing medical insurance that you were ordered to provide from the prior order?
I cannot afford the additional expense on top of what I'm paying for the child support currently.
Okay, now you are providing dental insurance for the children, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and how much does it cost you to provide dental insurance for the kids?
So for all three of us, and I know we did the calculations earlier, it's about $38.07 each paycheck multiplied by 2. That's about $76.14 a month, which
Okay.
I believe, according with the children, equated to about $54 for just them.
Okay, so it costs you $38.07 bi-weekly?
Every 2 weeks, yes, sir.
Every 2 weeks. And this amount covers you and the 2 kids.
That is correct.
Okay.
I think you said times 2. So is it every 2 weeks or is it like every 5th and 20th of the month?
I get paid every 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's not the specific days of the month, the 1st and the 15th. It's literally 2 weeks, so it varies every month.
Yes,
so you
Your
don't
Honor.
just multiply by 2 then?
It's a 26 pay period.
Okay.
So what is this?
This is my W-2 for 2023. During that entire time, I did work for Allstate. As you can see, though, the employer name is Integrity Insurance Services, but it's for Allstate.
Okay, so so Integrity is under the umbrella of Allstate?
Each agency is independently owned, almost like an independent contractor, but we're only able to insure and write customers with Allstate insurance.
Okay, and in 2023, how much did you make that year?
$52,983.78.
Okay, and what was your base pay when you last year?
$20.19 an hour.
Okay, and do you make commission?
Depending if I meet quota or not. Commission is available to be made, but it's never guaranteed.
Okay, how much commission did you make in 2023?
If I'm going to do the math on here, I have a base pay of about $42,000, which equates to $20.19. So $52,983 minus 78 cents minus 42,000. That's the only thing guaranteed that I am paid. That equates to about $10,983 in commission for that year. Gross commission.
Okay, what is this?
This is my, this paycheck here, this statement, this pay stub, excuse me. This is reflecting on a normal base pay paycheck that is paid on the hourly rate of the $20.19. And on the bottom where it says gross pay, that is what I make base pay only and on a 26 pay period calendar year.
Where does it say base pay?
Under earnings where it says regular rate $20.19, and then it'll give you the total amount for the pay period for that particular pay period.
So, what is PTO under the regular?
Paid time off. If I ever needed to take a day off, if it's depending on the number of hours I need off, they'll pay out that amount. I think I only have 30 hours PTO, if I'm not mistaken.
And what does the bonus represent?
Bonus is representative of any commission that's been made.
Okay, and on this particular paycheck, it shows the bonus being 0, correct?
On this particular one, yes, sir.
Now, what is this? Now, the company that you worked for last year is different from the company that's on this paycheck.
Yeah.
What company is on this paycheck?
That says Pisani Agency. The reason
Okay.
I left the other agency was a lot of different factors involving pay, involving other factors that I guess don't really pertain to this, but moving to this agency has allowed me to work from home, and that's something that I wanted to do for a while now, to also be able to take care of my kids when I need to. And it actually has proven effective just recently with a recent hurricane.
Okay, and when did you start with Pisani?
I believe, and don't quote me on this, this is an estimate. I believe the original date, I believe it was May 17th.
May 17th of this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, stop sharing.
Just to quickly add one more to this. The reason there's two different paychecks, the first paycheck of the month.
Let me
Okay.
stop you right there. I'm gonna, sir, what is this?
That is that pay stub there is also includes the hourly pay, but as if you can see where it says year to date, the bonus has gone up, it's increased because of commission from that paycheck to this paycheck. So that's
Okay.
the total amount that I've received in commission so far.
So how much commission so far does this paycheck reflect?
$6,925.16.
And the period ending of your most recent, is this your most recent paycheck, sir?
That's the most recent one that shows commission. I haven't received any other commission paychecks or pay stubs as of yet.
And the period ending of this paycheck is July 28, 2024?
Yes, and the pay date was July 31st. Yes, sir. That is the check that shows and reflects that.
Now, just to be clear, you are going to cover the kids for dental at your cost of $54.99 per month moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
And when would that start? When would that covered start?
That because of the waiting period I had, the effective date will now be September 1st is what I was told. That's when they'll be eligible to have an active dental plan once again.
Okay.
Previously, they were under Guardian. Now they're going to be under, I think it's called Meritas.
Now, how much would it be if you put the kids on your medical through
I
your work?
believe the estimate I got was going to be around the $450 range. I don't know the exact dollar amount, but it was around the $450 range.
And that's just for the kids?
That's for the kids, yes.
And that's going to be $450 a month?
Per paycheck, if I'm not mistaken. It's completely unaffordable.
Sir, Sir, I know with this Pisani you just started in May. Can you give an idea of how much commission, just an average commission you'll be making per month based on your experience?
I cannot give an accurate estimation with that. As mentioned before, the commission's never guaranteed. I might have a good month where I have good sales, and I might have a month where I do not meet my quota. There's a benchmark that I have to make or that I have to meet in order to actually commission that month. If I don't meet that benchmark, I don't receive any commission that month. So I can only go based off what I made last year. This year, I've been fortunate enough, the company has made changes to try to make insurance more affordable. But since 2020, insurance has gone up by 33% here in the United States, which has made it very difficult to meet quota, as you can tell by my W-2 from 2023.
Okay,
Insurance is at an all-time high, which makes my job that much more difficult.
okay. Your Honor, pass the witness.
Mr. Porter, do you have questions for Mr. DeLeon?
Thank you, Judge. Just a couple. Going back to all this Exhibit 1, when you were with Integrity, and you had commissioned that year roughly $9,000, correct?
10,983 and 78 cents.
Okay, and that was for 2023.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, even though they're selling Allstate, they're a different company than your company, correct? Correct?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Were you selling for Allstate then as well?
Yes, for the full year, the entire year.
All the way from 2020 to now, have you been selling Allstate?
No, sir.
Okay, you had a period where you left Allstate, and when was that?
I believe that was around from the end of 2020 till about the beginning of 2022.
Okay. At the time that you entered into the initial order in this case, you were working for Allstate though, correct?
At that time, yes, sir.
Okay. And at that time, the numbers for child support and health insurance, you would agree with me, were accurate, correct?
Based off the 25% from the original decree, that is correct.
Okay. And then, I mean, it's not very fair, would you say, to make a determination based upon your W-2 for 2023 because you aren't working for the same company anymore, correct?
I'm still with Allstate now, currently.
But you were with Allstate before, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm looking at Exhibit 3, and it's showing that second paycheck that you provided for the court is for basically a 2-month period. Is that not correct?
Yes, sir.
And
For June and July.
so looking at your year to date, which was 2 months at that point, your commission for that 2 months was $6,925, correct?
In total for 2 months.
Yeah, your commission. And so last year, another reason it wouldn't be real fair to base on 2023 is because for the whole year, you made $11,000 in commission over at that job, right?
For 2023, yes, sir.
So you're off to a pretty good start with this new job when you've made more than 50% of what you made all of 2023 in 2 months in 2024, correct?
I've had a very fortunate 2 months due to company changes, but it would not be fair to project that that's going to continue.
It wouldn't be fair to project that it wouldn't either. It would it? You're telling me you can't project.
Yes, sir. Can't project.
So unfortunately, the court is in a position today where, you know, they have to go by what you provide.
Yes, sir. And I provided an entire body of work for an entire year of 2023. And as you mentioned before, it's hard to determine what it'll be after a couple of months because I very well may not be able to commission this month or the month after. And I may after that have a great month. Insurance is like a roller coaster. It's not a set pay. The only thing guaranteed is my base pay.
And in fact, this entire time you were with Allstate and when the order was created, and so it can be higher. That shows that, correct?
It could also be lower.
Yes, sir.
I would like to state that there have been times, as you can tell, based off my W-2 in 2023, where there were several months where I did not meet quota and I did not commission.
That's typical, is it not?
I can best describe my job as a roller coaster. I'm going to have some high months and I'm going to have some extremely low months.
Agreed. Now, Miss Black has informed you today that she has health insurance available for the children, for the two children at $480 a month. Is that correct?
I was just made aware of that today. Yes. I did not know that prior to this.
Right. She told you that today. And do you believe that it would be reasonable for the court to order you to do what you agreed to back in 2020 and to pay for health insurance through her?
Based off the math and calculations I did, the amount that she currently pays for her health insurance exceeds the 9% that is, I guess, required or allotted to the non-custodial parent. That amount, even at that request, it exceeds the 9% based off the math from 2023.
But based upon my math, which is based upon what you've done in your 2 months, at almost $87,000 projected a year, that would be within the reasonable frame, wouldn't it?
Again, I can't go based off projections. The reason I'm doing this is I cannot put myself in a hole because that will not be guaranteed.
I understand.
That is absolute best case scenario. And I've never made that amount of money since I've been selling insurance.
When did you stop maintaining health insurance for these children?
I have not ever maintained health insurance for them.
So since you agreed under the previous court order, you have not maintained health insurance for them.
That is the only financial obligation I have not been able to fulfill, but I've always kept the life insurance required. And when the dental insurance became available to me, I did provide dental health insurance.
When was dental insurance made available?
It varies. I've had it previously on and off again, depending on the type of jobs I was doing. Some jobs did not offer it.
So based on your record that you're saying, because you're on and off all the time.
Not necessarily.
Well, I'm just going by your testimony, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Black also told you that she has dental insurance through her employer for $60 a month for the children. So $5 more, but she can guarantee you that the children will continue to consistently have dental insurance and health insurance. So would it not make sense to have health and dental insurance through Ms. Black?
I'm perfectly capable to provide that. And I just would like to state really quick, well, when you mentioned the back or on and off or back and forth, a lot of those things are out of my control. A lot of those things, when you work for a certain agent, it is not necessarily me leaving. Sometimes it's an involuntary. If an agent ever gets let go, everyone under his agency gets let go as well.
I hear what you're saying, Mr.
Deleon.
Sorry about that. I'm having trouble speaking here.
That's all right, Mr. Porter.
But the reality of it is, and you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth here, you're saying there are too many things out of your control, and that decides whether you have health and dental insurance. And the fact of the matter is you haven't had health insurance at all. And dental insurance, you're telling me, has been off and on. So do you understand that it would be more consistent if Ms. Black were to provide them?
My goal is for my children to always have that.
To the negative response. It's a yes, no question.
Sustained. Sir, please just answer the questions being asked.
If her job is consistent, then yes, it makes more sense to have dental insurance with her.
Do you have any question that her job is consistent?
Due to lack of communication, I don't even know what she does nowadays.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Dehamian, do you have any further questions for Mr. Deleon?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Ms. Black. Ms. Black, can you state your full name?
Loree Black.
Ms. Black, do you have reasonable access to health and dental insurance through your work?
Yes.
Okay. And how much would it cost you to put the children on your medical insurance per month?
What did I tell you?
Sorry, was that an answer? I couldn't hear it.
$240 a month per child.
And how many kids are in this case? 2. So are you saying that it's going to cost you $480 a month?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And how much would it cost you to put both kids, just the kids, on your dental insurance?
$60 a month total.
Okay. Pass the witness at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Porter, do you have questions for your client?
Long and short, I mean, you've covered most of what I'm interested in. Based upon the present job that Mr. Deleon has, do you believe there's a significant reason to change his child support?
Yes.
You want to lower his child support?
No.
Okay. You believe that the child support that he's paying now is reasonable?
Yes.
And that on top of that, based upon the projection of almost $87,000 a year, that he should also be required to reimburse you for the cost of the health insurance.
Yes.
How long has it been since your children have been without health insurance?
They've never had it.
And have you had access to dental insurance through Mr. DeLeon during this time?
I've never received any insurance cards.
And so for that reason, for the consistency and the protection of your children, are you asking the court to allow you to maintain health and dental insurance and have Mr. DeLeon reimburse you for the cost?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. De Leon, do you have any questions that you would like Ms. Black to answer?
Don't have any questions. I just have a statement that I would hope to be able to say.
Okay. Mr. Deleon, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Porter, do you have any witnesses?
I actually have one question, but it's more so towards the court.
You can ask it. I'm generally not here to answer questions. I'm here to listen to evidence and
Yeah.
make a ruling. So I'm not sure I can answer your question, but if it's logistical, I might be able to.
It is kind of logistical. I know she mentioned about not receiving any dental ID cards. I don't know, the dental ID cards won't have her name on it. They'll just have my kids.
Sir, this is not a question I can answer. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just gonna ask if I still can give it to her.
Okay. You both can always give each other anything you'd like to give each other. The court doesn't authorize, unless there's something in your decree that prevented you all from providing, anything to each other. The courts don't get involved in that level of, but the orders do require that you provide insurance cards to each other. I can say that. They typically say that, but yours might say something different. I didn't read every line of your order. Okay, Mr. Deleon, at this time, I'm going to let you speak since the AG's office doesn't represent you and you don't have a lawyer. Please remember the only issue before me is the modification. So to keep your remarks relevant to the issue before me.
Yes, sir. Or yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I don't have a law degree and I don't have the experience that Mr. Porter has. The only reason I brought this statement up was because I feel if any of the information on here is pertinent and allows the court to decide on this ruling today, I want to at least be able to get it out in the air. If there's anything on there that does not pertain, I do apologize in advance. Again, this is just done off my own research. So my statement reads as follows, and it's only going to take about 3 minutes. It says, my goal today was to come up with a mutual amicable agreement to where both parties are satisfied with the outcome. My hope is that after today, it will be decided that my child support should be adjusted for the benefit of my children. I have made several attempts to come to an agreement with Loree outside of the courtroom via text message or in person.
Before you continue, there's like background noise coming from someone's house or location. I don't know where. It's a
I
little
don't have anything
distracting
on
though.
here. I don't have anything on here.
Okay. Does anybody have it? Mr. Deleon, are you in a room with other people?
There might be somebody in the hallway. I'll put myself in silence, Your Honor.
Okay. And yeah, if you need to make any objections, just unmute. Thank you. But you may continue. Sorry about that.
If it's still bad, let me know.
Okay.
Right. Again, this is for the benefit of my children overall. I have made several attempts to come to an agreement with Loree outside of the courtroom via text message or in person, just only to be met with an unwillingness to cooperate. I do not have family here in Houston. My closest relatives are approximately 6 hours away, so it is just me here with no help. I am the first person of my family to graduate from college, and I did receive a bachelor's degree from the University of Texas, San Antonio. As you know now, I'm currently a licensed insurance agent where I do receive the base pay plus commission, which is, as we've spoken about, never guaranteed. I feel that my child support does qualify for an adjustment for the benefit of my children while under my care based off the following reasons. I do average about 108 overnights a year, which to my understanding, which has now been clarified, I did believe that it did qualify for some type of credit. This year, I am on pace for about 115 overnights. And the reason for the change is they did stay with me for 7 days during Hurricane Beryl, and I'm grateful that I am able to work from home to be able to provide that type of care for them. My current schedule is every Tuesday night and the first, third, and fifth weekend of every month, concluding on Sunday late afternoons. And I've always adhered to this schedule, even when my children did live 40 miles away in Humble. As of Sunday, June 9th, 2024, Loree and my children both left their home that her mother co-signed for to live with her boyfriend in LaPorte, Texas, which I can imagine will dramatically reduce her out-of-pocket expenses as she will now be living in a multi-income household. I am grateful though for this because now my children will be a lot closer and I will be able to spend more time with them. Furthermore, Loree did receive daycare state assistance while simultaneously receiving child support from me. That expense has now been eliminated as now Avia and Carson are both attending public school. During my research, I learned that in section 154.061 and 154.062 of the Texas Family Code, child support should be deducted from net resources. The last thing I'd like to say, Your Honor, is that I do, and I'm sorry, but I do pride myself on being a very present father that attends all of their major school functions and their first days of school and award ceremonies and school performances and any extracurricular activities. I call them every morning before school and call them every night before bed. If there's one thing my family and friends will attest to, is that I'm a very involved, loving father. I have struggled financially for the past 4 years, but by the grace of God, I managed to fulfill many obligations. It has been extremely difficult for me to watch Loree by herself, motorcycles, my kids, motorcycles, buy a house with her mother, and to be able to take vacations to Disney and more recently Turks and Caicos. While I have struggled financially too, I would too love to be able to afford a house where both my children can have their own space and a place to call home while they're with me. I hope and pray that we can come up to a mutual agreement today for the benefit of my kids. That's all. Thank you.
Mr. Damasian, would you like to ask him any questions?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
And Mr. Porter, would you like to ask Mr. Deleon any questions based on that?
I don't have any additional questions based on that, Judge.
Okay. Is everybody resting?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Deleon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm going to give you all a chance to make brief closing arguments. Mr. Damasian, would you like to make a closing?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, the state requests that that mom be the one who covers the kids for medical and dental, and then she be reimbursed for the cost. We're also request that you make appropriate rulings on what the commission amount would be based on Mr. DeLeon's testimony, so we can get a better an idea on how to calculate the child support.
Thank you. Mr. Porter, would you like to make a brief closing?
Just brief, Judge. I'm just asking the court to follow the guidelines, and I know that there's a certain degree of subjectivity here, but the reality of it is you can't really go by 2023 because he was with a different company, although by his own testimony, he was still with Allstate, and he was with Allstate back when this order was entered. And he has provided from his new employer, which is Allstate, these 2 paycheck stubs, the last one showing that, yes, indeed, that he is capable of continuing to earn at the same level that he was making in 2020 when he entered into this order. He has already made almost $7,000 in 2 months on commission, Judge. And you and I know, hey, commission goes, some months he may not have commission, some he may make double that. We don't know. Nobody knows. we can only go but with what's projected before us. He did it back in 2020. He can do it now. The only evidence that we have before us would indicate that that's a good likelihood based upon his commission level for the first 2 months. And so, in calculating the child support based upon his new employment, he does not make an amount that would cause the court to change the present child support amount. And we do ask the court, by his own testimony, he has not supplied health insurance for these children through the good or bad. He was good in 2020, and he didn't supply health insurance for these kids, and he still isn't supplying health insurance. These kids, by law, need to be on health insurance. It's available through mom. And dental is sporadic. We don't need that for these children. They need dental insurance all the time. We don't know when they're going to need work on their teeth. So we would ask you to continue with the same child support. We would ask that he be required to reimburse Miss Black for the health insurance and dental that she can provide through her employer.
And Mr. Deleon, would you like to make any brief closing?
Yes, Your Honor. The only thing I would like to say is, as mentioned before, Mr. Porter mentioned that I was good in 2020. I was not good in 2020 financially. The projections that they're estimating, I have never made that amount. And I only ask the court to please do not go based off projections, because commission is never guaranteed, which is why I provided a full year's body of work for my W-2 of 2023. I just ask that you please do not go based off projections, because I know if we do that, that will put me in an even more serious financial bind. That's all I ask. Please don't go based off projections. That is not guaranteed.
I'm going to pause the hearing and take some time to run some numbers. If anyone needs to use the restroom or anything, feel free. It'll take me a few minutes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
We are back on the record. As you all know, based on your closings, this is a little iffy right now. He's only been at this new job for about 2 months. And so I'm going to do a temporary order to give this more time to flush out and get a little more pay history under the belt. I agree with all of you. It's not fair to base this on 2023 earnings, because this is different. It's not necessarily fair to base it on the high, or what might be. We just don't know. It's all very up and down, and I don't know what months are up or down. So it's hard to even guess the extrapolation that would be appropriate. But I've looked at a lot of the numbers. I also think, you both do have insurance available through your jobs, but they're both on the high end. I don't know if you all want to look into different options for private insurance that might cost less. You certainly don't have to, but it might be worth doing that, because a large, chunk of money is going towards insurance regardless of who provides it. So because of all that, I'm going to do a temporary order, and hopefully we can come back with some more data on where his income actually is with this new company. I'm basing it on a gross of $4,800 a month for the temporary order. I'm ordering that Miss Black provides both the health insurance and the dental insurance. The 9% cap hits the medical reimbursement, I believe, at $432. So I'm ordering that Mr. Deleon pay cash medical, Miss Black, of $432 a month beginning September 1st of 2024. Dental insurance is $60 a month, I believe. That didn't get capped out. So I'm ordering that Mr. Deleon pay cash dental support to Miss Black of $60 a month. And for the 2 children, that has child support at $882 a month beginning September 1st of 2024. So the net after the deductions of $3,530.13 at 25%. It actually gets you, $883 a month. And for a reset, I don't have my calendar yet into 2025, but I certainly can guesstimate, because we do Galveston every Monday and Wednesday. I am going to guesstimate, one word document to guesstimate with. Why don't we set this for March 10th of 2025, and hopefully that'll give us more data for final trial.
March 10, 2025 at 8:30, Your Honor.
Yes,
And just to be clear, Your Honor, you said the net was 3530.14?
no, 1-3.
1.3. And then the child support is going to be 883 a month.
Yes.
Got it.
And then we'll go from there, when we see what the longer stretch of time looks like.
I have a question, Your Honor, really quick. I don't know, it's a logistical question. To pay that, the health insurance, am I gonna pay that directly through the Office of Attorney General website?
It'll be
To
through the
just
state disbursement unit, and it'll be paid the same way you pay child support.
It's gonna be automatically deducted from paychecks?
I'll let the Attorney General's office better explain that to you. They will issue a wage withholding order. However, will it come out, by September 1, will it be there? I don't know. What I encourage everyone to do is look at your paycheck stubs, look at what's coming out. If it's not the right number, pay the extra through the registry until it gets straightened out. You may have to talk to the AG's office if it doesn't look like it's getting straightened out. But that's going to be between you and the Attorney General's office. The child support is due whether you pay it yourself or whether it comes out of a wage withholding order.
It's currently, the wage withholding order, I believe.
The AG's office is going to draft this temporary order based on my ruling today, and they'll send it to both of you through DocuSign to review and to sign off on.
So we don't need to wait then, Judge. We're excused at this point, I guess.
I am done with you, Mr. Dickamation. What would you prefer?
Your Honor, since everything's on the record, the parties can be excused and I can send the order today to them for signature.
Perfect.
Then you all may be excused. Thank you so much.